How would you rate your relationship?
10.
You can see how much we text.
Scroll.
I'm out of here.
What a weak bitch.
That was a bitch move.
Hello, my Panda Pals, and welcome back to the channel and to another recap. Today I'm going to cover what happened on The Other Way Season 6 Tell-All Part 1. I'm very happy to report that this tell-all is only going to be 2 parts and not 5. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed this season, but I am very ready to never have to see some of these people ever again. So, buckle it up, my Panda Pals, and let's ride this train wreck straight into the ground. The cast starts to funnel in, and Corona comes in looking super on brand.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to this.
She tells us she would have never imagined her and Ingi would be where they are today, but she also says that people will not be that surprised.
This was not what I envisioned, but I think a lot of people saw this coming.
James comes in next, and surprisingly, Tata is with him.
Tata is back by my side. I wish it meant things were easier and going great, but they're not.
James tells us that he is super nervous because he is aware that he is very bad at making good decisions. Josh is also in the States. He says he came back to visit some family, but let's be honest, Lily probably just kicked him out.
The only big concern I have is Lily, she does get defensive. If she hears something she doesn't like, that's when she really becomes defensive.
Joanne walks in next, and she's decked out in crystals to protect her aura or her chakras or whatever from all of the negativity that is guaranteed to be radiating through everyone.
I've noticed we're all really good at sharing our secrets with our family.
Joanne is like, ugh, do not even get me started. I am gonna be crucified for trying to abandon my children. In walks Sean, and damn, man is fine as a fuck. Dear God, this man looks so good in a suit. Shekinah walks in next, and she's with Sarper. Holy God, there are a lot of people that made it in person to this tell-all.
Somebody said me that you will be in US. I would laugh him with my ass.
James asks Corona if Ingi's on his way, and she is like, oh, he better not be. And she gives us a little nibble of what's to come.
I think, quite personally, he is a jackass and fumbled the bag big time, and he will regret that for the rest of his life.
Sean apparently has a soft spot for Corona because he says he can tell Corona genuinely loved Ingi, and he says he cannot wait to call him out on his bullshit.
I just don't respect someone playing with someone's heart like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to calling that mother out, seeing what he has to say,
So yeah, that explains why Sean was being super hostile in all of the previews. Sarper does not share this sentiment.
Corona is so noisy. She is so reactive. So annoying.
Shekinah and Sarper go on to share a stick of butter because they're apparently on the carnivore diet, so they are basically only eating butter, meat, and cheese every single day. Listen, butter tastes good. It does not taste that good. Everyone gets on stage and the tell-all begins. Sean welcomes everyone and tells us that Dempsey and Statler will not be a part of the tell-all. I do know that Statler is planning on doing her own little tell-all on her podcast, so when that happens, I'll try to catch it. Maybe I'll talk about it, maybe I won't. I don't really want to make any promises. We do the traditional Red Robin.
You're here. Last time you were trying to get her to stay in Turkey.
Whatever she wants happens at the end of the day.
Sarper and Shekinah have started the K1 visa process, and their 90 days have officially started.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
How have things been since the wedding?
Josh is like, we've had our ups and downs, but we are doing a lot better. And Lily is like, no, we are not doing that great. And Josh is like, yeah, I mean, it's not been the best.
有时候还是有幸福的时刻，但是我觉得我们还是
Overall, we've had a very rough relationship.
Joanne and Sean are just sitting there. They're both happier than pigs in mud. Sean looks at Tata and she's like, OMG, you're smiling. What a bold departure from your usual tears. And Tata's like, yeah, I mean, my husband abandoned me, so I was sad.
You were just bawling.
I mean, he left me, so yeah.
Corona's like, this sad excuse for a man is dead to me. Scumbag, asshole, dirty little liar. And Ingi is like, oh, same. This woman is also dead to me.
Corona, did you even say hi to Ingi?
No, why would I?
Hi, Corona.
And he's only doing that to be a smartass. He didn't say hi to me either, so nah, we're good.
Sean gets super mad at him and he calls him a piece of shit. And James is like, yeah, bro, the optics, they're not so great.
He's a piece of You know what you're doing. You're a piece of You're a scumbag. No. You're a scumbag.
No, I'm not.
You really are, though.
And Sean is like, you lied to this woman and made her think that you love her. And Ingi's like, absolutely not. My love for Corona was genuine.
I truly loved her.
Why the did you even show up if you're just gonna be here lying with that smug smile on your face?
What the?
If that is true and Ingi genuinely loved her, then his love was tepid as fuck. Corona is like, Sean, can we just move the fuck on? We'll get to our piece when it's our turn.
Let's move on. Let's move the on.
So Sean is like, okay. And she goes on to put Shekinah and Sarper into the hot seat. Sean asks Shekinah how she felt finding out that Sarper initially proposed as a ploy to try and convince her to stay in Turkey.
I didn't know that there was that motive behind it. I thought he just like loved me.
Sarper's like, I did what I had to do to try and keep her here, but at the end of the day, it was way too difficult for Shekinah to adapt. She doesn't know Turkish, he knows English, and she has a daughter in the US.
Had you known that you would end up here in the United States, would you have still proposed?
The silence from Sarper is deafening, and it is lasting an eternity.
That's a really long pause.
You're taking a long pause.
Don't even answer. I actually don't need your answer.
Ugh, I would hate to be Shekinah just sitting there watching Sarper try to come up with an answer. Sarper is like, listen, we are not marriage people, but we have to be together to make this relationship work because I can't be long distance forever.
I told her, if we continue long distance, I'm not in this relationship, even I love you, I will break up with you. And she said, okay.
He's like, I couldn't live the priest life without her. Plus, she is so jealous and possessive and controlling. She is always up my ass about where I am, what I'm doing, and who I'm with.
She has a territory. She's in the middle like the sun. She has an orbit. She always wants me on that orbit.
It's normal.
Oh, no, it is not. Sean is like, well, what do you think is gonna happen now that he's in Los Angeles?
Landed and said, parents, lock up your daughters.
No,
That's what he
God.
said when he got off the plane.
Is that just his humor?
Shekinah says it is his humor, but jokes like that always come from a kernel of truth.
I'm satisfying myself from my jokes. We have to throw the bad energy out. If we cannot throw from here, we throw it from here.
And James is over here like, OMG, I get it. We are totally on the same page, dude.
I told her, all right, there's 2 rules you should always remember. Keep my hand full and my balls empty, and you won't ever have to worry about anything.
Corona's like, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It is not Tata's responsibility to empty your sack to make sure you don't cheat on her.
You got full balls, you'll be looking?
No, but if you think I'm looking somewhere, if you made sure that things were taken care of, you'd never have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's not really my humor either. I don't think you should weaponize sex even as a joke. And your partner should definitely not feel obligated to do it in order to keep you faithful. Because what you're basically saying is if you cheat on her, then it's not gonna be because you are a shitty fucking pathetic loser. It's because she did not have sex with you enough. Sarper's like, LOL, I feel like a prisoner in my relationship because I have to ask this bitch to leave the house.
You're not a prisoner.
Do you feel like you're a prisoner?
You feel like you're a prisoner.
He's not.
Do you track his location?
I can't. He won't let me.
So she still wants to track his location, which I think is still a problem. Sarper says that they have 2 non-negotiables in the relationship. 1 is she can never look at his phone. 2, she can never track his location. I'm sorry, but those are kinda weird non-negotiables. I don't think Shekinah should be able to look through his phone all willy-nilly to sate her insecure and controlling nature, but I do think it's weird that it is a hard rule that she can never look at it.
I don't want her to go to my DMs, look at what is happening there.
Why don't you want her to see?
I do nothing. But let's have some privates.
And then he's like, yeah, I'm in a lot of group chats with a bunch of old high school buddies, and all we do is exchange a bunch of porn, and she doesn't really need to see that.
Well, I can see why she would want to go through the DMs now.
It's nothing bad. And what would you do there? Lick it, suck it, bite it, all of it, none of it, half of it.
Oh my gosh, no! Listen, if you and your partner have established that that is okay, then go crazy. But Shekinah is obviously not gonna be okay with that. What the actual fuck? Is that normal? Like, is that a boy thing? Do y'all just sit in group chats with each other, sending porn back and forth, and then just talking about what you would do to that person in explicit detail? This is the first time that Shekinah is hearing any of this, and she is not okay with it.
This is gross.
It's not, babe.
It is gross. I don't want him imagining and describing to his friends what he would do to someone else.
I was such a fan of Sarper's this season, but he just gave me the ick. He 100% should have known that Shekinah would not be okay with this. So the fact that he continued doing this and then made a rule so that she could not look through his phone so that he could hide it from her is very scummy.
That feels gross.
It is just talking.
So are you talking in this
No,
group chat? Are you commenting what
nothing.
you would do to these
do
people?
nothing.
And then to joke about it and act like she is being crazy and overreacting just pisses me off more. Sean invites Shekinah's bestie Josh onto the show, and he is literally here for 2 seconds. He says that he's concerned because both of them are very jealous and very controlling.
Shekinah does have a lot of male acquaintances.
Josh is a good friend of yours, right?
Yeah.
He's not sleeping with women, so it's not a problem.
And Josh is like, you are also in LA now, so you're gonna be developing female friends, so it kinda has to work both ways. And Shekinah is like, LOL, oh no, he is not gonna be able to talk to any woman.
Doesn't want me talk with any females, if possible, right?
Yeah.
I personally think that limiting your partner from interacting with the gender that they are attracted to is absurd. If your partner is a cheater, they are going to cheat on you regardless of whatever rules you lay out.
Tata, can James have any female friends?
No.
Lily tells me the day I stop being jealous is the day I'm not in love with you.
That feels so wrong. Like, I understand that people experience jealousy, but to say that you need to be jealous to prove that you love somebody, that just feels really toxic.
He has a right to have a mistrust in me because I am a guy with one of the worst resume on the planet, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Sean then welcomes Sarper's old friend and former flame, Dee.
Hi.
Oh my God.
What is this?
Sarper, you
God.
remember Dee, right?
He has to, his face.
Sarper looks simultaneously shocked, stunned, scared, worried, and panicked.
Oh, I want popcorn.
Shekinah has no idea who Dee is, but Dee says that she's known Sarper for the past 3 months, and she considers them friends.
And how well do you know Sarper?
I think we're friends.
Sarper doesn't have any friends that are females, so you're not friends, honey.
And Dee is like, we met during COVID, I went to his apartment, we had a ton of fun, and then we kept in touch.
You stayed in touch until
When's the last time
Until
you
when?
messaged him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let her answer.
November?
Sarper did tell Dee that he was dating Shekinah, and apparently Dee was like, well, if I ever visit Turkey, I would love to hang out with you guys.
I told him if he wanted to hang out, I would meet her.
Yeah, I'll pass on that, thanks.
Shekinah is definitely not in her happy place. Sarper is like, Dee, you are familiar with Turkish men of the shitty variety. Please tell the rest of the cast how I am a transformed butterfly.
From what I know of him, I just feel like he will never cheat. I think that he will be very honest and very loyal.
Dee does admit she feels like their relationship is toxic, and Shekinah is like, oh, okay, bitch, I really don't care about what you think about my relationship.
You have such an opinion.
Why?
Like, you don't even know him. Go one night stand and you know he wouldn't cheat.
We do text.
Shekinah gets up because she's super upset, and she leaves the stage saying that she will come back when Dee is gone.
How many times have you corresponded?
2 or 3 times, nothing else.
2 or
And Dee is like, yeah, we definitely talked a lot more than that. And she pulls out her phone and she scrolls for what seems to be an eternity. Damn, that is a ton of photos and videos. Sean is like, so Sarper, you remember how like a minute ago you said that you only talked to her 3 or 4 times? And Sarper's like, I'm telling you the truth. I don't remember any of those other conversations.
I remember that.
She just scrolled.
I don't remember the details.
That was a lot of 2 or 3 times.
Shekinah refuses to come back, so Sean calls a break.
Sarper should have followed me up here. I've dealt with his past ever since we met, and I'm tired of it.
Sarper heads backstage, and instead of checking in on Shekinah, he just goes to sit on the couch to talk to the boys. And instead, Corona and Tata go to check if she's okay.
And I just couldn't believe the audacity to tell me about my man.
But you handle it better than I would.
Corona goes up to Sarper and she's like, hey, maybe you should go check up on your girl. You know, the one that you made really upset a minute ago?
Why did it take you so long to come up here?
We were on the stage.
I left the stage. Why didn't you?
I kind of feel bad for Sarper because he is legitimately trying. He's like, Shekinah is my first serious girlfriend. I am still learning, but she just gets so mad at me, and sometimes I don't even know why.
Sucks you didn't come after me, babe.
I'm doing my best.
That is not your best.
But
I know you could do better
we are
than
in a
that.
Sarper's like, but we were in a social setting and we gotta try to make everyone happy. And Shekinah is like, you should not give a shit about making doo-doo or whatever the hell her name is happy. Then Sarper is like, girl, why are you being such a bitch right now?
Don't call me a bitch when I'm upset.
What do you want me to say? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If you yell at me right now,
Is that threat?
Sarper is like, baby, I changed everything about myself for you. And Shekinah is like, okay, if you think you are such a prize, then maybe start acting like one, okay?
Yeah. Sarper will give her that look, and she'll forgive him.
She'll melt. She'll melt, yeah.
Well, now we know why Josh always makes that stupid fucking face every time he's in the doghouse. Everyone backstage is like, Sarper was very different than I thought he was gonna be. He has really made huge strides in becoming a better human being.
Yeah, he's changing his ways for her, and that takes a lot.
Yeah, it does. He banged over 2,000 women and treated them like objects, and he was still able to work on himself and slowly become a better man. You built Legos in your basement and had your wife pay all of your bills. Why are you still exactly the same?
At least you are beautiful, you know, at least.
stop
At
saying
least you
things
are
like
beautiful.
that.
At least you have a good body.
Sarper cheers Shekinah up in his own special way, he gets her on stage, and we move on to Lily and Josh. Sean is like, Josh, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your marriage today?
A 6, because we still have our issues, but we're slowly improving the way we communicate with each other.
Sean then asks Lily the same exact question.
10位。
She say 3?
Josh honestly looks a little shocked and hurt that she said 3, but that doesn't really surprise me that he is unaware of the state of their marriage, considering he's incapable of listening to anyone if they do not agree with him. Lily says they argue all the time, and Josh continues to blame her for everything.
我们甚至于没有拥抱，没有 sex。现在我完全因为我的丈夫，我失去了我的自信。
Oh my god, I cannot stand his stupid little, no, I'm just a sad little man whose feelings are hurt. Josh starts to cry again, and he's like, it bothers me that she's not happy because she's my wife. Then make her happy. You have all of the tools, you just refuse to use them. Lily is not asking for the moon.
How does it make you feel to see Josh so emotional?
我好像没什么感觉。
Yeah, because those aren't tears of sadness. Those are tears of manipulation. They are tiny little crocodile tears. He always cries when he has to make Lily the bad guy because he can't nut up and admit that he is the problem sometimes.
I think in Lily's mind, those are crocodile tears. Like, your tears don't even, like, put a dent in her emotion.
Sean then asks the question that everyone would love to hear the answer to.
What is it that you two are holding on to? Why is this a relationship that you want to be in?
And Josh is like, we love each other. No, you don't. You love the idea of her. You love that she is an Asian woman who takes care of you financially.
If you love someone, you don't say you believe in your relationship on a 3 out of 10.
But she's still there. She's sticking it out because she loves him.
I do agree with Shekinah. I think that Lily is just sticking it out despite being wholly unfulfilled in this marriage because she loves him. And James, I'm sorry, but shut up. Josh ranked the marriage 6 out of 10 because Lily still shows him love and fulfills him in some way. Lily ranked the marriage 3 out of 10 because Josh does not do any of that back for her. Lily is not the problem. The way that they rank their relationship literally shows us that.
Do you know the solution? You have to sleep with her. I mean, you have to touch her, you have to feel her.
I hate to say, but I agree with him.
Yeah.
I don't think sex solves problems, but it is weird that you rank your marriage a 6 out of 10 and you still have not touched her despite her begging to be touched.
I think Lily does love you. I think you've hurt her so much that she doesn't feel wanted by you anymore.
Look at Josh. He is not listening to a damn thing they are saying. Josh tries to say that Lily is also to blame for the no sex issue, and Shekinah is like, no, stop. You cannot keep trying to share the blame. Sometimes you just have to take responsibility.
Josh, how long has it been since you and your wife have been intimate?
It's been a long time. I don't honestly remember.
Was it that bad?
Corona's like, dude, do you even find your wife sexually attractive? Cause she's hot AF. And Josh is like, yeah, I find her attractive.
Who's rejecting who?
When I'm being put down every day and belittled, I just don't have that desire to, make love.
Okay, but you ranked the marriage a 6 out of 10 and Lily ranked it 3 out of 10. The math is not mathing, because if she was constantly on your ass criticizing you every hour of every day, to the point where you do not want to bang the wife that you say you are very sexually attracted to, then you wouldn't be at a 6, Like you would be much lower. Lily goes on to say that the entire time they've been together, they have only made the beast with 2 backs 4 or 5 times. And Girly here wants to be banging every single day.
还是最多5次。
In total, you guys have slept together 5 times.
That hurts my soul to hear that.
Why are you fighting for this relationship?
And she goes on to say that she wants to bang every single day, but if they can grow old together and just be happy, then she can let go of sexy time with him forever.
If they don't have that passion, they will be housemates.
And he's not wrong.
It takes me to get hit by a train to get kept off this one, it would.
Oh my god, I am so jealous of Joanne. I do not approve of her trying to abandon her children, but I don't know, maybe she was just hella dick drunk when she made that choice. Sarper's like, I get it. You're not the provider in the relationship, so you don't have confidence and it fucks with your libido.
Power dynamic is so bad for you guys.
And
Because
it's
she's the
reversed.
breadwinner. Yes.
And everyone's like, yeah, Josh probably wants to be the provider, but Lily is just such a boss bitch. And James is like, dude, I totally get it. I couldn't be the provider in Indonesia, so my libido was shot.
That was an issue once we hit Indonesian. Right off the bat, I think 3 or 4 times the whole time.
It's a little frustrating that Josh and James kind of have the same thought. They both are expected to and want to be the financial provider in the relationship, but they found themselves in situations where they could not do that. But instead of finding alternative ways in which they could support their partner, they just sat in a corner of their room feeling sorry for themselves.
Things need to change. If we truly do give 100%, then the sex will improve.
Sir, why don't we calm down a little bit? Why don't you aim to give 30% and then work your way up from there, okay? This man is over here being like, we both need to give 100% when he's losing muscle mass from the lack of weight that he's carrying in this relationship.
If you start to be intimate again, everything will be solved. It is a reset button for women. Press the button, they forget everything.
We pivot to James and Tata. Tata has been in the States for the past 4 months, and she decided to come back because James did end up promising to bring Angel over to America and pay for her visa. And James is like, you guys all know how much Angel hates me, right?
She's always got something to say about me.
Angel's messy as hell.
Yeah, she's always trying to cause issues between us.
We are only 2 seconds into their segment and Tata starts to cry.
She is so cute, but she's crying too much.
One of the very few times that I do not hate Sarper's opinion. Tata cries way too much. It's kind of like Josh's crocodile tears with Lily. After a certain point, they just kind of lose their effectiveness. The tears become meaningless.
Is she like this in the house for simple things too?
She cries like this in real life
Dinner
every
is
day.
ready.
Tata's like, I am just an emotional person. I have no idea why I cry so much. And Shekinah's like, oh my gosh, don't even worry. I used to be the same exact way.
You're not crying because of what's happening right then, but what's happening then is triggering something that's happened to you before.
Yes.
Sean then welcomes Angel to the show and she's like, do you fully trust James yet?
Do you trust him fully now?
I don't know him yet.
Okay, so that's a no.
Why didn't you try to get to know James?
Do I need to?
Well, someone is an ungrateful little brat. Considering he is fronting the cost to pay for your visa to America and the fact that he will most likely be paying for your flights back and forth, and then when you get here, he'll probably be paying for your food and also giving you a place to live, yeah, maybe you could try a little bit harder to not be such a heartless bitch.
What kinds of things would you like to know about him?
Nothing.
What did I do?
Nothing. Just be you.
I would not have paid a single cent to help get Angel to America. Tata can go straight back to Indonesia.
Tata, do you plan to bring your sister to live with you here in your house?
Yeah.
How is that going to work?
And Tata is like, they just have to talk to each other and work out their problems.
That's the kind of person she is. He is also stubborn. So I just in the middle, how to make these two get along.
Girl, your sister sounds like she would not even spit on James if he was on fire. Corona confronts Angel and she's like, why are you acting this way? You are causing so many issues for them and all you have to do is try to get to know James.
You don't have to be as difficult as you're being.
What should I do?
Change your entire personality.
Shekinah looks at Tata and she's like, you should be infuriated by the way that Angel is talking to your husband. Her goal is to ruin your relationship and you need to cut her out.
You think Tata should cut off Angel?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I do.
Clearly, she doesn't give a about you or him.
Tata is like, but I did cut her off for 2 years. And then Shekinah is like, yeah, and now she's back in your life doing the same exact thing she was doing before. Corona chimes in and says that she thinks Angel is just jealous because the youngest child in the family got married before her. And Angel is like, no, sweetie, I'm not jealous of her. I'm mad at James because he stole her away from me.
Suddenly they engage and then get married. And then he don't even ask permission to me.
Everyone thinks this is weird, but then Tata does clarify that since Angel is her older sister and she's unmarried, traditionally, James should have asked her for permission to marry Tata.
James did not do that.
No.
But he didn't ask because there was already animosity, because she'd already spread the lies by that point, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how you swing it, Angel is a huge problem. Tata says that Angel has already apologized for spreading those rumors twice. And James is like, okay, I mean, she said sorry, but she definitely did not mean it.
She did apologize to me personally, but then like the next morning, I already could feel like she's already like right back to the old ways.
And then Angel is like, listen, bro, I just need you to say that you're sorry for not asking me to marry Tata.
You'd have just been like, no, go yourself. What would have been my benefit in asking you?
You didn't try though.
You just follow the culture.
Girl, get out of here with that bullshit. You do not care about the cultural aspects of it. You just hate James because he sucks. Just say that.
James made certain promises. How do you feel he actually came true on those promises?
And Angel is like, yeah, see, that's why I don't like him. He makes so many promises and keeps none of them.
There is a lot of broken promises in your story, so I mean...
And I agree with this. That's a fault of my own.
I mean, points for being able to acknowledge it, like that's definitely a step in the right direction, because I don't think he really did that before.
Do you really love my sister?
Yes, I love Tata with all my heart.
That's why you didn't tell the truth, that you don't want to have a kid.
James says that in the beginning, he did want kids, but the world changed, and so did he. That's fair, but you still failed to update her on the fact that you no longer wanted kids, so you did still lie to her every time you acted like you still wanted them. James says that after the pandemic, the world grew colder because everyone started interacting online and people just didn't know how to be kind anymore.
That's always been the case,
That's just
though.
America, man.
I feel like he may be using that as an excuse.
The whole dynamic of everybody.
At a certain point, it doesn't really matter what his excuse is. At the end of the day, he doesn't want kids. Sarper is like, Tata wants to be a mother and you love her, so you need to give her a kid. And Sean is like, I didn't want a kid, but once I met my daughter, I fell in love. And Shekinah's like, no, absolutely not. James doesn't want to have kids, so he shouldn't be forced to have one.
Yeah, but if you just feel like you're not meant to be a parent, then you need to honor that.
Tata says that she wants to be a mother desperately, but she will stay with James even if they never have children because she married him, the good and the bad, which is probably the most mature thing that Tata has said this entire season, but it is still heartbreaking to see her sacrifice motherhood. And I honestly hope that James can own up to some of his promises, cause like, she's giving up her one deepest desire in life, and can he converse in Indonesian with her parents yet? Sean is like, okay, well, James and Angel are clearly going nowhere. And James is like, yeah, I know, she's stubborn as shit. And I gotta get ready for that to be in my house in America.
You are going to pay for her visa.
It's already in the process. Tata wouldn't come until I started the process.
James says that Tata would not come back to America until he submitted all of the paperwork and officially started the process.
Because she didn't trust me to start it when she got here.
Because of their broken promises.
Yes.
Shekinah says it was not fair of Tata to basically blackmail James into getting Angel a visa to the States. And Sarper's like, so how long is she gonna visit when she gets here?
You know, it's an open up to 6 months.
Wow.
Cancel that.
Don't leave it open-ended.
Tata is like, I just hate America. Then James starts to cry because he wants Tata to be happy, but he had to go back to the US because they had zero money in Indonesia.
It was either have her lose faith in me here, or I can go back, do my damn best to get everything back together, try to do this again the right way.
We then say goodbye to Angel, thank the Lord, and Sean calls another break.
I love you so much. I also love my family, and you know it.
She hates my guts.
Forgive and forget.
No, absolutely not. Listen, James is not the greatest person, but that does not mean he deserves to be treated the way that Angel has been treating him. She is toxic as fuck, and you really need to cut her off. Or you need to put down some firm boundaries. Like, tell her if she wants to have a relationship with you, then she needs to start treating James with the basic level of respect and stop being such a salty, crusty bitch. We are about to pivot to Corona and Ingi, but before we do, Sarper calls him up because apparently they're besties, and he gives Ingi some advice. He says that sometimes the Americans, they can't understand Europeans and their super chill demeanor, so Ingi really needs to speak up and just say his truth.
It is so difficult to deal with her. How did you do it? I don't know, brother.
And then he makes a joke and he's like, Ingi, have you ever gotten COVID?
No, the coronavirus. You found her.
The joke was not that funny. Sarper's like, we got a bromance going on here, dude. I am rooting for you. Let's go ahead and touch dicks about it later.
We are going to move on to Corona and Ingi.
Oh, I don't want to do this.
Well, suck it up, Buttercup. Everybody else had to go through it. And honestly, your situation wasn't even that bad. Sean starts things off by asking Ingi to give them his perspective.
When we were in Iceland, everything was awesome. Like, I was completely head over heels with Corona.
But then he went to visit her in the US and she was just a different person.
I did not see the loving, fun, caring person that I fell in love with. When we were together, like, the whole vibe was just off.
Ingi's like, I even suggested couples therapy, but Corona told me that I was the only one who needed to go to therapy. And then Corona's over here like, dude, I suggested couples therapy.
It's like we were planning on getting a K1 visa. We told my family and friends that I was moving to the States. But after my second trip to the States, I had to break up with Corona.
So I don't really know how much of this I believe, because didn't Ingi do a whole ass article a couple months ago talking about how Corona and him weren't dating when they were filming, and Corona only wanted to do the show for clout? But now he's confirming everything that Corona had said in her rant on her social media about the timeline of their relationship, that they were dating at the end of filming, which was at the end of February, and then they applied for the K1 visa in April, and then they subsequently broke up in June.
I just left, and it was probably the most difficult thing that I have had to do in my life.
I don't know, man. I smell bullshit. And then he like mic drops, gets up and leaves.
I'm out of here.
Son of a, what a weak bitch. That's some weak.
What the That was a bitch move.
And that, my Panda Pals, is all I have for you today. Here's the little sneak peek we get of next week.
Tata accused James of cheating.
Love this girl.
I promised you to take a therapy, right?
Not from someone you slept with.
Why don't you my mom?
With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead, click that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the episode. I hope to see you next week, and as always, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye! And now, because I'm bored and I just want to, let's go ahead and rank everybody on a scale of suckitude. I'm gonna go ahead and put James at like, a 4.5. You know, he's still walking over the bones of a million broken promises, but it does take a lot to be married to someone who cries at the drop of a hat and is basically blackmailing you to pay for someone who wants to murder you in your sleep to come live with you for 6 months. I'm gonna put Tata at like a 6, cause I think she is batshit crazy for forcing James to pay for Angel's visa, but she also said that she would give up her dream of being a mother for James because she loves him. Josh, I wonder where I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him right at a 9. I do not like him. I have not made that a secret. I think he's a professional victim. He's a gaslighting narcissist who always has to blame someone else because he can't handle being wrong. And he has done absolutely nothing to make me think otherwise. Lily, I like Lily. I'm gonna put her at a 3. I think she puts up with a lot of bullshit. She would be at a 2, but she did that thing that I did not like where she tried to test him with the whole paying for a part of the wedding thing. And she would be at a 1 if she would just leave him. Sarper is gonna be at a 4 for me. You know what? He's made a ton of improvement because this man used to be a 12 on this scale, but he's tamed down a lot. I do not love that he was like, Ingi, my man, Corona sucks. Go ahead and prove her wrong. And just assumed Ingi was the good guy, cause it's kind of starting like he is not the good guy. Shekinah, I don't really know. She's kind of like, meh. I'm just gonna put her at a 5. She has her problems, but right now they only seem to be affecting her negatively, so whatever. Joanne, I'm gonna put her at a 9, because I still can't get over how she made plans to abandon her children and thought that they would be super on board with it. Sean, I'm also gonna put at a 9 right now because we haven't really heard a lot from him, and he was still a part of Joanne's plan to abandon her children, but he is a hot 9. Like, he is a super hot 9. Corona, I'm gonna put her at a 4. She was definitely higher before this tell-all because who gives up their spot at an Ivy League school for the most tepid of men? But then we found out that she didn't actually give it up. Plus, I was under the assumption, like everybody else, that Ingi was being truthful in that article, but now it really looks like he was lying. So yeah, she's definitely sucking less and less. Ingi was lower on the scale before the tell-all, but right now, I'm gonna put him at a 7. Cause I feel like he's lying. He's saying it with such a straight face, and he's painting himself as the victim so well that it's kind of unsettling. I'm sure these will all change next week. I mean, maybe not Josh or Lily's, but definitely everybody else's.